Jim, welcome back. Motorsports is obviously hugely important to General Motors, and we see this through its involvement in a large portfolio of series with the Chevrolet and Cadillac brands. So it's been another excellent year for both brands. Let's start with NASCAR, because for the second straight year, Chevy's managed to sweep the manufacturer's title in all three principal series. Just looking through the stats here, the 15 wins in Cup, including, of course, Daytona 500 and Brickyard 400. We've had Xfinity triumphs in which you also powered the drivers' champion, Justin Allgaier. And in trucks, you had 12 wins, more than double that of your competitor. Closest competitor, how gratifying is that at the end of what is always a hectic year in NASCAR, just given the sheer scale of the ventures?
Yeah, there's no doubt it was an intense year. I'm really proud of all of our teams in all three of the series, and to sweep the Manufacturers Championship in 2 consecutive years. We've done it a couple times, and it was very special. It's one of our key goals every year is the Manufacturers Championship, and the teams in Truck, Xfinity, and Cup did their jobs. They put wins on the board, which typically correlate to great points on the Manufacturers Championship run. And so it's, bottom line, it was just a great year. I really appreciate what all the teams did, and just how they prepared individually as teams, and then also utilized our tools that we have here. I'm actually here at our technical center in Charlotte, in the Concord area, and the teams really use a lot of the tool sets here, whether it's driver in the loop simulators. We have 3 of them here. We have a lot of human performance support for them in terms of preparing for the races. We have KNC rigs. We have a lot of simulation tools that we prepare here. A lot of data analytics. The list kind of goes on and on. But the teams from the competition leaders, combined with our drivers and crew chiefs, they really leveraged this facility and all the preparation they do at their own shops to prepare for every one of these races this season. So it was a great year. Super proud of them. Hyper competitive. We didn't get the drivers' championship in the Cup side. Obviously, Justin Allgaier, super proud of him. 7 years in that championship run, and he finally delivered one. It was awesome for him and JR Motorsports, for Kelly, for Junior, and the whole team. Awesome job.
Yeah.
And there's a picture of our technical center here, and we call it the GM Charlotte Technical Center, and you can see the driver in the loop example in the bottom right, which is fairly commonplace. We've had, I think it was 8 or 9 years ago, we put our first one in. Now we have a second generation of DILs, and we got 3 of them here in the facility here in Charlotte, and we've got a couple more up in our Warren Technical Center.
And on that topic, how many different series can that cover, the driver in loop simulator? Can you simulate like a truck
it covers
team,
most of them, David. Certainly NASCAR for sure, as we just talked about. IndyCar, the drivers get here and use it to prepare for IndyCar, both road courses, street courses, and even the ovals. Sports car with Cadillac in both IMSA and the WEC. Obviously, the drivers that are here in the U.S. use it a little bit more, but certainly the drivers that are in WEC get over here and prepare as well. We also use it for production vehicles from time to time as well. So there's a lot of use in these simulators, and it's a tool. There's less testing in a normal race weekend than less testing and less practice in a normal race weekend. And so utilization of simulation and tools like driver in the loop, super important to prepare to get to the track with speed.
Absolutely. And kind of you mentioned that it's the Cup champion didn't come from the GM's stables, but and how frustrating is that for you as a manufacturer to kind of like win the majority of the battles and not win the war that at least has the greatest prominence, for example?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's certainly at the beginning of the year, and you can put up the slide there, Sam. It has NASCAR on it. Certainly, manufacturers, as I said, is a top priority for us, but also doing whatever we can to support our teams and drivers to win races and generate enough points to get to the playoffs, to get to the final race in Phoenix in this case.
Yes.
And so when you get there, super proud. When you win it, it's special. When you don't, it's motivation for the next year. So you can see in this
Right.
shot here, you got William Byron winning the Daytona 500, first points race out of the gate in the season in 24, and then Justin Allgaier getting his win there, and it looks like Nick Sanchez with his I think first win as well in the Truck Series. So yeah, it's frustrating when you don't win, but I'll tell you what, motorsports. When you win, you celebrate and figure out how do you keep the momentum going. When you don't win, it's a special and important moment because it's all about how do you react for the following race, for the following season. And
Yes.
that's motorsports. You don't win them all. It's about what you do when you don't win. It's as important as a moment of celebration when you do win.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I don't want this to sound bad, but obviously sticking on this subject of slight frustrations, I definitely felt the Cadillac V Series R was often the fastest in the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship this year. Well, I mean, it's not just a case of me thinking it. The evidence was there. I think you got 6 poles between the Cadillac Racing Ganassi entry and also the Whelen Engineering entry, and yet just 2 wins. Is that just the nature of endurance racing, and you just have to suck it up in that regard?
Yeah, it's a great question, and you were reminding me of some moments that were very special, and some moments that we're going to focus on doing better. And obviously, you mentioned the 6 poles and 9 races. That's pretty cool. 2
Yeah.
wins, came second in the championship, but when you don't win the championship overall, it's definitely something that we think a lot about, and as we prepare for the following season. And so you can't rest a minute in what used to be called the off season. There is no such thing anymore. And
Right.
we're preparing for next season as well. Obviously, a number of changes coming next year.
Yes.
We have, we'll have obviously Action Express, so we'll race with Cadillac in the IMSA series, and they've been with us for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Wayne Taylor Racing comes back to Cadillac after being away for several years, and so they'll rejoin the Cadillac team. And then obviously they'll have 2 cars, so there'll be 3 in IMSA, which is great. And then as you look at the FIA WEC Series World Endurance Championship for 25, we'll have Team Jota, Hertz Team Jota,
Yes.
and they'll have 2 entries. So we'll have 5 entries this coming year, and doing a lot of work preparing right now for the new season ahead. And so there was definitely some highlights in this past season, and getting the pole at Fuji with Alex Lynn was certainly an important one as well. That was a highlight, but we certainly strive for more in terms of getting to the more wins across both of the series, and then the championship, both manufacturer, and then working with the teams for them to get the team and the drivers championship. So we're excited about the year ahead, and a lot of work to do as we prepare for the Roar and IMSA and the season at the FIA WEC.
With the introduction of or reintroduction of the GTP nameplate, obviously there's been a lot of excitement over the last 18 months. Do you think the hype about the hypercars has lived up to the hype? I mean, it's certainly from the outsider's point of view, it's been terrific racing. Inside, has there been, do you believe that IMSA's on the right path?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Obviously, in 23, the Cadillac, the Whelen team won the championship. That was very special. It's fun to see more manufacturers come in, more teams. I talked about we're going to go from 3 cars to 5 next year. There's other manufacturers that are coming in. A lot of people think back to the 60s as, the prime time in sports car, and they are special. It's always great to see pictures and kind of videos and TV shows that capture those moments. But what's happening now with so many manufacturers and so many teams entering both IMSA and FIA WEC, in either the GTP category for IMSA or the hypercar for FIA WEC. This is a special time, and the racing is incredible. We certainly want to get to the top of the podium for sure. There's a lot of people that want to do the same thing, which makes it super exciting. And you can see it in the attendance at these races. And every time you go to a race, you think, wow, there's a lot of people here. I'm telling you, compared to where we were when we started our journey, both with Corvette and in terms of full factory effort in 1999 in the series, to where we're at now, obviously with Cadillac, we've been in the series with Cadillac for quite a while. The people turning up, the fan response, both at the racetrack and online and on TV, absolutely incredible. So I think this is a very special time. This could be the best time in sports car racing right now. We're probably living in it right now. We want to do better in the coming year, and that's our focus. But we're super excited about it, and it's great to see those stats that are about fans watching, social media engagement, as well as people showing up at the racetracks globally. It's a great time.
The Corvette Z06 GT3R, again, another super fast car, and super sexy as well, of course. It must be nice to have two full-time entries again in GTD Pro, but I'm sure that's remaining the same for 2025. But in the GTD non-pro class, you're expanding to add DXDT racing. Does that take a lot of extra commitment to now supply to customer teams? The other one, of course, AWA.
Yeah, that's a great question. Obviously, with the convergence in the GT category to GT3 globally, that has been that's another category where you see incredible competition, number of manufacturers and number of teams, both at the pro level as well as the pro-am level. And so we, to be GT3 compliant, you've got to build a certain number of cars over the course of a couple of years. We're on track to do that or better. There's a lot of demand for the Corvette, both at the pro level as well as at the pro-am level. So that we're actually expanding as we should be going into 25. And so we'll have obviously, pro teams like Pratt Miller Motorsports, which has been a long time partner of ours. Obviously you got, AWA, you got TF Sport with a couple vehicles as well. And then you got, a number of teams. DXDT is going to be in there with, vehicles in the pro-am category and running in different series. So we'll be running in IMSA and the GTD and GTD Pro categories. We'll be doing the same in the FI WEC series, Asian Le Mans series, the GT World Challenge Americas series. There's a British series we're going to have a team in. So this is a great time for GT3 racing as well. We obviously had a brand new car this year, some teething issues early on, and then really gained momentum near the back of the season. So excited about what that means for next year, which would be year 2 for us with the GT3 based on the Z06. And we've got great teams. So I think that's another reason why fans are turning out is this GT3 category has so many competitors, so many entries, cars that are relatable in terms of what we sell in the showrooms, including the Corvette Z06. And so there's a lot of energy and interest in that category as well.
I'm sure you won't take this amiss when I say that the one of the big stories for DXDT will of course be Robert Wickens.
Absolutely.
Is there a lot of I don't want to get too far down the technical route because you can find stuff on online about how it's being done, but is there a lot of modifications to make a Corvette compliant to his unique demands?
Right. Yeah, first of all, this is very exciting. Known Robert a long time from his IndyCar days and his affiliation with Air McLaren for many years. And bottom line is that this was, he had contacted us and said he was interested. John Doonan, Dr. Eric Warren, who runs our technical center here with the team, and our team that runs our GT3 program, found a way to put the program together, and super proud of that along with the other drivers. And so there are modifications we do to the car for sure. And so Robert is super excited about it. We are as well, and it's going to be fun to see these guys debut this coming year in 25.
Yeah, absolutely. Regarding this, your overall ambitions for the Z06, are you expecting to be able to compete for any of the GT3 titles in 2025?
Yeah, that is definitely a goal. Obviously, I think back to 1997, 98 when we were in 96 when we were preparing for our Corvette entry to sports car racing as kind of a full factory effort. We debuted in 1999 at the Rolex 24 Hours of Daytona. Had a podium finish with one of the cars, and you never know on race car programs, are they going to go 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and here we are from 1999 to 2024 going into 25, and Corvette is still going strong. And one of the expectations we have is that we do compete for obviously the team and the drivers championships with our partner teams, and we're now more of a factory support effort versus a full factory effort, but and then also manufacturers championships. So those are definitely both priorities in the pro categories, both in IMSA as well as in FIA WEC. There is no doubt. And so year 2 of the car, I think we finished stronger at the end of the season, and that bodes well for coming out of the gates stronger in the coming years. Yeah, definitely a goal for sure in 25.
Okay. Right. To pivot to the NHRA Mission Foods Drag Racing Series, magnificent year for Chevrolet. Austin Prock wins the Funny Car Championship, and Greg Anderson wins Pro Stock. But let's start with Austin. Have you ever seen a debut season in a category like that? 8 wins. God knows how many times he reset the fastest speed time, but he ends up with 341.68 miles an hour. Yeah, I mean, it was an emotional triumph too, obviously, because of what poor John Force went through this year as well. But I mean, just a magnificent application of talent from Mr. Proctor. You must be so proud.
Oh, so proud of him, and proud of John Force Racing overall, and all of the Greg Anderson as well, all the racers that are running our Chevrolet products, our brands. And so yeah, Austin obviously was running the previous year in the Top Fuel when Robert stepped out of the car. Austin went in it, absolutely focused, and had an incredible season. #1 qualifiers, 8 wins.
Yeah,
brought the championship home in his rookie season. Like, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And it was fun to talk with him after, a number of his race wins, and the energy and excitement in his voice, the focus of him and his crew, the John Force Racing crew and his family members that were there every step of the way to give him, kind of the car that he needed. And he executed so well. He is on his game. He's in prime time. He's got a racer's edge. He's got all those things that we've seen so many racers that went from kind of earlier in their careers, in this case his rookie season in Funny Car, and he made it happen. So proud of him. Couldn't be prouder of him, and also everybody at John Force Racing, John Force, Robert Height, the whole crew, and also it's special that Jack Beckman stepped in for John Force, and it was great to see that John Force was back at the track at Las Vegas and Pomona. He's on his road to recovery. Jack stepped in, and obviously the way they set it up is all the races Jack was in, he was able to generate points for that car. He finishes second. So that's an incredible story as well. And so proud of the job they did. And then Greg Anderson, what can you say? The guy has driven nothing but GM products his whole career.
Yeah.
He takes it to all the young kids, and he does it. He clinches another championship. I think it was his 6th.
That's right.
I'm proud to say it's all been with products from our company, and he is just a great guy on top of it. So it was a great year, and factory experimental class, a Chevrolet driver won that one as well. So wonderful season in NHRA for sure.
Yeah. And speaking of Camaros, Supercars.
Supercars.
16 wins. I think 16 wins compared with only 8 for Ford. And 1-2 in the championship for the Triple Eight drivers. We have seen Triple Eight and GM dominate before, but I don't know. With only two manufacturers in there for now, the whole GM Ford clash seems even more polarized. So does it feel special to be taking taking that kind of dominance over your prime rival?
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's definitely over, whatever, how many decades, 5, 6 decades, 7 decades. The Chevrolet Ford kind of rivalry is there. It's a key storyline, particularly in supercars, as it is in other series. Triple Eight did an amazing job this year, finishing 1-2. It's been great preparation by the teams and our engineers that work together on homologation, submission, powertrain performance, which you got to give these drivers the power they need. You got to give them the durability to last, and then obviously the efficiency relative to the competition. And so they did that. So it was special. There's no doubt about it. Passionate fans there. Obviously, when we wound down Holden, we talked with the series, and they asked us if we would stay in some capacity. And at the time, we were ramping up a GM Specialty Vehicles group there that was featuring a number of Chevrolet products as well as others from GM. And so we decided to stay. Super happy we did it. It kept the series, gave them momentum, and it gave them that storyline between us and Ford. And obviously, Toyota's coming in 26. So another, get multiple manufacturers in there. That's always a good sign. So it was a terrific season, both on the manufacturers kind of cup side and then the driver's side with a 1-2 finish with Chevy drivers.
So we've seen Camaro's triumph this year in NASCAR, NHRA, and Supercars. What can you share with us about the future of what is a truly beloved nameplate like Camaro?
Yeah.
And
good question.
And in particular, its future of motorsport.
Yeah. Well, it's a good question. There's still some Camaros out there for sale in our dealerships. You'll see Camaro back on the track in most of the series, which is, and then we're working on, what could be next. So nothing to say or announce, but in the meantime, we'll continue to run Camaro in most of the series, and the teams are tuning up for 25 as well in most of the series in which we're racing in right now.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear as a fan of any muscle cars, but particularly sexy Camaros. Chevrolet's 9th manufacturer's crown in IndyCar since the 2.2 regs came in 2012. I assume of the 10 wins, the highlight, there's a picture of Mr. Newgarden getting his second in a row at the Indy 500 has to be the highlight, right? But maybe one of the highlights of that weekend was the top 8 cars on the grid, all Chevrolet powered.
Yeah, that was special. At IndyCar, Chevy's got a deep history in IndyCar, and I probably mentioned this before, but it's unique. Manufacturer, the co-founder of the company, Louis Chevrolet, him and his brothers, they raced and they raced in Indy. And so for us to be racing the Chevrolet with the Chevrolet powertrain with the teams that we have here many, many decades later is pretty special. And so in the top right there, Rob Buckner's our program manager, has done an excellent job. Dr. Eric Warren is on the left side of the manufacturer's trophy with Mark Miles, who runs IndyCar and the Penske Entertainment Group. So super special, and to have that many Chevrolets in qualifying and finishing the race was very, very, very special. What I do know about IndyCar is that the competition's fierce, and so as we look forward to next year, we certainly are in preparation mode again because you cannot rest a second. But Josef Newgarden getting 2 in a row. You can see him there on the left side with the Borg Warner Trophy. It's such a special trophy. And then Pato Ward picking up a win at Milwaukee, super popular. We have a talented group of teams and drivers. and looking forward to 25 as well. But it was a terrific season, picking up another manufacturer's championship. This is another one where we did not get the drivers' championship, and so that is on our list to do. Another reminder: motorsports can be great and exciting, and moments of very special weekends, and then you can also be reminded that there's work to do. We got to get that drivers' championship back in the Chevy camp in 25.
I'm sure you must also be gratified at the transition to, or not transition, but the addition of the hybrid unit and bringing that on board in, I would say, fairly seamless manner, especially for the bow tie brigade.
Yeah, I would say, listen, it was Jay Fry had put in a kind of a technology plan and a plan to apply it to the series over, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years. This was one of the steps. We kind of delayed a little bit during a year or two, given all the things that happened and on the supply chain basis, and then we finally got there. It was a team effort between Chevrolet, Ilmor, HRC, and the IndyCar team. It really was. It's typically we're fierce competitors, or we are fierce competitors with the other OEMs in the showrooms, and actually where our technical center is here in the Charlotte area, Concord area. There's some dealerships right around here I'm looking out at, and we're fiercely competitive in the showroom to sell cars to customers, and then on the track, fiercely competitive. But there are moments where these race series pull the OEMs together to say, let's work together to solve a problem and lift the series in a positive way. And so I think together we did that, and the debut was actually very, very, very positive and smooth. Where there were a couple moments in other races where it didn't go quite as smooth, but all in all, the hybrid system ran really well. And so that was a team effort in a different way. And so I applaud Jay Fry for pulling everybody together.
And do you agree with IndyCar's the way it's been introduced is just like it gives them a fairly small power boost, but in years to come it will eventually replace push to pass and become push the engines as if the 2.2 liter hasn't been squeezed already. But
yeah, we squeezed that one hard for sure. We keep looking for ways to squeeze more power and efficiency out of it. I think, listen, it's a great first step, and then obviously they've indicated, the series has, that they're looking for what the next step could be to provide the drivers a little bit more power. Obviously, the hybrids in the LMDH platform in IMSA and in the FIA WEC with Hypercar, and the Cadillac, is pretty unique. You can hear it run. You come in and do a pit stop, and the Cadillac with the hybrid system, and you leave your pit lane under electric power, and you get to about, I don't know, 20 miles an hour. We fire up the Cadillac V8, and there's not a better sound. That combination is unique and special, and so a number of the series have been looking at it and have implemented it and done it pretty well. So, but I think there'll be potentially another step, I think, for IndyCar down the road.
Excellent. Obviously, time is not our friend here, but quick word about Formula One. How satisfying is it to have been basically given the green light by your future rivals that the Cadillac brand will be most welcome from 2026?
Well, clearly, I mean, F1 has had this amazing growth spurt. It's incredible around the world, actually, and particularly North America. It has not gone unnoticed. We've noticed it. We've seen it. We see it in the fan base. We do a lot of just research, and also just being very, kind of aware of what's going on in different series. And so that caught our attention, and obviously, it's been a long journey to get to this point, and candidly, the process still goes on. The Formula One management team, which owns the commercial rights to F1, that's issued by the FIA, gave us the support. It goes back to the FIA with the president and his team to then make a final call. So we're in the process, but that was a key step here in the past week or so after a couple of years. It's exciting. There's much work to do. I will say in this technical center here, along with our partners, we have a similar location in Silverstone, and there's a unit going up in Fishers, Indiana. And we are basically have been preparing. We never stopped. And you have to, because the time is so short. So we're looking forward to 2026, and then, as you probably heard, we did commit to doing a power unit near the end of the decade. And so a lot of work ahead, but pinnacle of motorsports, and it's a chance for us to, really demonstrate our engineering expertise and ability to innovate within the rule set. And it's going to be exciting. So a lot more to come, and still a couple steps in the process to formally get in, but key step in this past couple weeks.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, Jim. Magnificent year as usual for GM. But yeah, very best of luck in 2025. And yeah, look forward to speaking to you again this time next year.
That's great. And this is certainly a team effort. I mentioned Dr. Eric Warren leads our motorsports competition team, and Josh Wilson does our aero, and Patrick Knupp leads our technology group. Mark Steele does all our program management. Matt Borland, just a super important leader in our team, Matt Dix and others. So definitely a team effort with the teams, the crew chiefs, the drivers, the technical leaders of the teams. It's the only way to roll in motorsports. You got to do it as a team. And so thanks for having us on here again for another year. So Judy, Francisco, thank you. David, thanks for doing the interview.
EPARTRADE is a digital platform that we've created basically to make life easier in the business community of auto racing.
EPARTRADE, there is no e-commerce. It's literally a connection just like at a trade show. So now, any time of the year, a buyer could reach out to a supplier.
When you see a product that you're interested in, all you need to do is click on request more information, and then from there it is forwarded directly to the buyer or to the supplier.
EPARTRADE really eliminates having to travel, closing down your shop. Now you have a place to showcase globally your racing product and technology.
Looking for a quick fix of motorsports news? The Speed Sport Daily is what you need. It's a free racing newsletter delivered directly to your email every day. We'll cover the winners and the losers and tell you who's making news off the track. It's NASCAR, NHRA, World of Outlaw, IndyCar, and so much more. Go to speedsport.com today and get signed up for America's free racing newsletter and get your daily motorsports fix. The Speed Sport Daily.
Land speed record holder George Poteet's Speed Demon rocketed 481 miles per hour at the Bonneville Salt Flats. You don't go that fast without ARP fasteners.
There is no way that we could go the speed that we've gone, the number of times we've gone, with a lesser quality bolt than ARP supplies to us. And we absolutely wouldn't be where we were today if it weren't for ARP.
When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com.
We're Performance Plus Global Logistics. Our team of dedicated performance industry and logistics experts get valuable cars and components to the track on time in top condition. We provide expedited logistics solutions for the performance industry using direct routes instead of deferred options, and communicate all necessary information to the appropriate resources to meet regulations and ensure a smooth transit and secure delivery, both domestically and internationally. And we exceed customer expectations by providing best-in-class service with an efficient and cost-effective system in place. Contact us today to book your next shipment.
Scott Lewis & Associates, the sales, marketing, and branding specialist for the automotive performance industry since 1988. We get our manufacturers on track by opening an extensive distribution network, providing product training to sales staff, creating fully integrated sales and marketing strategies, building successful industry partnerships, attending trade shows, events, and races, offering first-class support to customers. SLAI delivers solutions that win you sales. To get in touch with an SLAI representative, call 516-378-6100. Go to scottlewisinc.com or email info@scottlewisinc.com.
With roots in the Midwest that date back well before the Model T, Fifth Third Bank has a long history of serving the needs of automotive companies. While much has changed over the years, our passion for helping businesses put cars on the road and on the track has not. Today, we are more committed than ever as a member of SEMA, a founding member of PRI, and a sponsor of multiple race teams across several racing series.
For over a decade, Fifth Third Bank has been a staunch supporter of our industry and a great partner for many companies in the motorsports field.
Our business has been growing extremely fast, and really we could not be where we are today without Fifth Third. They provided amazing strategic advice, the capital we need to support our phases of growth.
They are true partners for me now, and what they do with their involvement in motorsports is untouched in this community.
Where can we take your business? Fifth Third Bank.
You work as hard as your truck, and you have no time for downtime. That's why more truck owners trust Blue Def, America's #1 diesel exhaust fluid brand. Each batch is guaranteed pure, so you can avoid costly repairs caused by inferior DEF. Demand America's best for your truck with Blue Def and Blue Def Platinum. Put trust in your truck.
When it comes to pushing the limits of performance, the pros know there's no room for compromise. At Crowder Cams, we don't just engineer camshafts and valve train components, we redefine what power means. Since 1955, Crowder Cams has been the name trusted by racers, engine builders, and gearheads around the globe. Whether you're building a street machine, a dragster, or a track car, Crowder Cams provides the muscle you need to dominate. And with Crowder, victory is within your reach.
For over 25 years, Wisconsin-based C-Tech Manufacturing has been engineering and manufacturing the toughest, most accessible aluminum tool drawers, cabinets, carts, and tactical storage solutions for America's hardest working professionals. Whatever you need to store and however you need to store it, put your trust in C-Tech Manufacturing. We build it better. Visit our new website at ctechmanufacturing.com or give us a call at 715-355-8842.
If you're watching this video, you might be wondering, what is WPC? WPC is a surface treatment designed to reduce friction and increase the strength of metal parts. As much as it might seem like a coating, WPC is actually a surface treatment. Think of it like shot painting, but the media is much finer, like talc. So what you're left with is a super hard, smooth surface that actually has some proprietary dry lubricants embedded within it. For more information, visit WPCtreatment.com.